Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. I want to kind of talk about the Sacramento Kings a little bit. Now, this is a team I do not follow, so, my disclaimer is I'm watching them from afar. So if I'm mistaken in anything or inaccurate in anything, um, please forgive and just know that I'm looking to learn about the Sacramento Kings. But what I'm sensing from the Sacramento Kings is that they're looking to make a big move. They are an ambitious franchise right now. Um, I'm hearing that they're looking to try to swing for Pascal Siakam. They've coveted him for about, I'd say, 2 or 3 weeks now. I've been hearing about it, and it's just one of those situations where I look at that team and I say, okay, they paid De'Aaron Fox. They have their mainstay point guard. They're continuing to draft guards. So it was a little frustrating at first to kind of take in the fact that they were taking on Davion Mitchell, despite having two very highly productive guards in place. But then started to see what he could do and what he could bring to the table, and I realized that the role that they have for him as a backup shooting guard or possibly main shooting guard, even though I don't think he's going to be starting over Tyrese Halliburton, but he's going to get a lot of opportunities to get big, huge minutes despite not starting. And I can totally see them kind of having him out there as like an Eric Bledsoe. I remember when he was with the Clippers to start his career, being the main guy off the bench and having so much talent behind Chris Paul. I think that's kind of the situation there. He's an attacking guy. Sacramento, they are a franchise who, if you remember the old days from Sacramento, they always were known for having very talented guards, from your Jason Williams to your Mitch Richmond. Obviously, we're talking about Mike Bibby and Bobby Jackson. Those are the guys that come to mind for me when I think about the Sacramento Kings. And they've always had multiple guys when I think about Jackson and Bibby who could come in back to back and just attack you. They used to give us fits, man, with that pick and roll coupled with those shooters. I think what they're trying to do in a way is kind of rekindle some of that magic that they had from those old days. They're looking to get that mainstay power forward that can kind of give them some of that Chris Webber energy, some of that Chris Webber magic. Pascal Siakam, I don't know that he's a facilitator like that, but he can be a dynamic power forward that they're looking for. Marvin Bagley needs to change the scenery, in my opinion. I do not mind them keeping him, though, because I don't think that he's going to get any worse from here. He just needs to get healthy, get his conditioning right, and then he's going to start showing us what he can do. Hopefully the injuries don't continue. But at this point, I could totally see them wanting to move on. Excuse me. And that, they have a sense of urgency at this point as a franchise. They are looking to kind of win. They know that they have De'Aaron Fox on board, but they don't want to squander the years that they have with him. And they know that they have talented guards like Tyrese Halliburton and, of course, Davion Mitchell, of whom eventually they're going to have to pay, and they can't pay everybody. So that means the timeline has shrunk for a team like the Sacramento Kings to keep these players and win with them before they have to ultimately choose who they want to let go of. So what they're going to have to make a decision on is whether or not to let go of those kids early, one of them, whomever they don't want to pay, or try to just win right now. Try to bring players to Sacramento that can help them go for it while they have all those kids on rookie contracts. And that's what I sense that may be going on there within their front office. It's just an understanding of where they're at, an understanding that they do have Fox on board, and he's ready to go. This is a kid who's always been productive. He's just kind of been lost on a bad team. And the players around him haven't been very good. The defenses on the team have not been good. But they've been finding things. Buddy Hield has developed well. They got lucky getting Tyrese Halliburton. Of course, the Knicks should have taken him. They got lucky finding Davion Mitchell. He dropped. These things have kind of worked out for them. Of course, they just re-signed Holmes, which I think is a really good signing. A very productive big man who's going to continue to get better in this league. And he's a dominant player. I think he gets lost in the fold because of the fact that he plays in Sacramento. But he and De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, that is a serious trio of basketball players. And you throw in that Davion Mitchell. Suddenly I look at Sacramento as a team with some really, really productive guys, a core of young players that are going to take their pound of flesh from other teams. They do not suck, is what I'm saying to you. And they have the room to get a lot better, so long as they keep those four players together. And I think that's what they're thinking. So now it's like, okay, they want to move on from Buddy Hield. I understand that. They just don't have the role for him. If he were a bit taller, a bit better defensively, they could put him at the 3 and be very happy with that. But unfortunately, he's a strict 2. And the other guys that they have at the 2 spot, even though they don't shoot as well as he does, they do other things better and they make others better. And that's not really his thing. He's more so of a scorer first player. So he's a great piece, but he's just not what the Sacramento Kings need right now. But what they do need is to kind of bolster their power forward position and their small forward position. They have Harrison Barnes in place. Very good, solid vet, can help you. Starters minutes. I have him in the Thaddeus Young lane type of guy. Serviceable. Should be a part of a winning franchise at this stage in his career. Has won a championship with the Golden State Warriors. But you can upgrade there. So I can see them looking at their forward spots and saying, yeah, that's what we want to do. And really looking at the moves that they can make, possibly sending Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield maybe to Toronto and getting Pascal Siakam back. I don't know if Harrison Barnes is part of that deal or not, but what I'm saying is they may have to ask, they may have to give up more than Buddy Hield to get Pascal. Obviously, you think of a guy like Marvin Bagley as well, who may be a part of a deal like that. So that's what I'm looking to see them do, is possibly try to win the Pascal Siakam sweepstakes, if they can. They've become sweepstakes over the last couple of days because now it's been noted that 2 other teams have gotten involved. The Golden State Warriors want to take a look at him, and the LA Clippers also want to take a look at Pascal Siakam. I think he would be a good fit with the Clippers, by the way, especially with Kawhi being out. He is someone who can kind of give you some of that offensive production. And then the following year, when Kawhi gets back, guess who he's playing with? Guy he won a championship with, Pascal Siakam. So that's a fantastic acquisition for the Clippers if they're able to make it happen without giving up Terrence Mann. That's key. Do not give up Terrence Mann in that deal. So that's another thing. So Pascal Siakam's going to have other suitors. I think the Golden State Warriors situation is a bit of a... I see what Golden State's trying to do. They're trying to get athletic 4s. They're looking for a certain type of player. They got Kuminga in place, but it's like they really want Pascal. It's like, okay, we drafted Kuminga because he's like a Pascal. That's kind of what they're doing. They want Pascal Siakam. They look at that as the type of player that can complement all of the shooting that they have. I don't know that Pascal's the defender that they want him to be, but he's already won a championship, so they know what he can bring to their franchise. And he's exactly the type of offensive player that can make them an impossible team to guard with all of the other offensive players that they have on the team, needless to say. So you can see the obvious reasons for bringing him in. You can also see why they want to get a guy like Ben Simmons in as well. Just to boost their defense and ball movement, make things easier for Klay on the defensive end. So, there's a lot of things that the Warriors can do. So if I'm looking at the Sacramento Kings, I'm saying, well, you see that, right? You see these 2 other teams involved in this particular deal, which is why you may have to sweeten the pot and maybe overpay for a guy like Pascal Siakam. So we will see how this plays out. It's going to be a very interesting couple of days, as I imagine they're going to try to make this deal happen soon. Toronto's looking to move on. It looks like they have a very, very specific direction that they're going for their franchise, with Scotty Barnes and OG Anunoby, Trent, and Van Fleet. That's a very good team as well. I don't think they're going to be as bad as they were last year. They get to go back home to Toronto, get back to that environment, get to sitting down with Drake again and all that. And it's going to be It's going to feel like old times with new players. Obviously, Kyle Lowry's going to be gone. I expect Siakam to be gone. So it's going to be a new feel, but I don't think they're going to suck at all if they can make the right moves in this trade. Um, because Scotty Barnes is ready to go. That dude is ready to go. That is a dominant two-way basketball player out the gate. I'm telling y'all right now. What he's going to affect immediately is ball movement and rebounding. I don't know how he's going to be scoring. His defense is definitely going to be there because he's a defensive-minded player. But one thing that you can be certain of is he's going to make sure the ball moves very well because he's a great passer, and he's going to rebound the ball because he's huge and he's athletic as hell. So that out the gate is for certain. And that is going to be a lot as it pertains to that Toronto team with shooters and a guy like Fred VanVleet, who's really not a facilitator. He's a score-first guy. So the presence of Scotty Barnes will give them that Draymond effect, will give them that Jokic type of effect, Ben Simmons type of effect. And, I think they're going to be a better team than people expect. So, man, the East is not getting any worse, let me tell you. But anyway, that's what I got, man. Thank y'all for watching. I know I was talking about the Kings, but I can go everywhere with this. At the end of the day, I'm hopeful the Pascal Siakam trade could be done soon so we can talk about it and have an understanding of what the lay of the land is going to be. Because a trade like that could involve other teams, and that could be interesting as well. So, my name is BDL44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.